Hello there, my name is Jorge Varela for thebuttonsmasher.com, and here's my review of Knights of Azure for PS4 and Vita. So the short version of this whole review will be boiled down to this. It's a good game, and I love it the more I keep playing it. It's a little slow and a bit boring at the beginning, but as soon as everything is laid out for you, you'll be addicted to its gameplay loop and cool characters before you even start to realize it. I like it so much that I'll keep playing it after this review is over, just so that I can see how the story ends. And so in my personal experience, both the Vita and the PS4 versions of the game are pretty great, so I recommend you go get it. Now, with that out of the way, here's the long version of the review. Knights of Azure is most definitely the embodiment of the phrase, patience is a virtue. When I first started playing the game, I only had a few trailers and the attractive art style to make me want to try it out, but aside from that, I had no idea what I was about to get into. Within my excitement, I was met with a rather dull and drab introduction to our two main characters and an equally boring, long, and drawn-out tutorial. At this point, that excitement started to turn into concern that the entire game might have the same pacing, but I'm happy to say that I'm wrong. As soon as all of the introductions are out of the way, Knights of Azure turns into an addicting, cyclical experience that becomes more fun and interesting the more you play. The majority of the game focuses around trying to stop a villain known as the Night Lord from destroying the world and shrouding it in eternal darkness and demons. Our protagonist, Arnis, is an agent working for a shadowy organization known as the Curia, where she is tasked with protecting her best friend Lilise, who was chosen to be sacrificed in order to seal the Night Lord and prevent the world's impending doom. Though this sounds like the setup to some sort of action movie, my experience showed that it is actually more of a love story than anything else, with many scenes and character events based around demonstrating how dedicated Arnis and Lilise are to protecting and caring for each other. Though there are a few other characters that are very likable in their own right, it is very obvious that these two ladies are the driving force of the game, to the point where I kept playing late into the night just to see what happens between them next. And whenever we're not seeing Arnis and Lilise being all lovey-dovey with each other, we see other side characters like Simon the Butler, Professor Alucard, and Lloyd the Merchant, who have their own little quirks and side stories that make them more likable over time. Granted, there are many occasions where their dialogue comes off as a little bit cliche and predictable, but that doesn't mean that I wasn't excited every single time I saw the word event on the top of their heads after finishing a chapter. Most of these characters start off as templates, but their involvement, along with the solid voice acting and writing, grew on me fairly quickly. Speaking of things that grew on me fairly quickly, the gameplay is something that I thoroughly enjoyed after I gave it some patience and time to get comfortable with it. As I said at the beginning, patience is a virtue. After going through all of the tutorials and meeting all the characters, the game immediately lets you loose and allows you to take various quests from people that will then put you in a gameplay loop that's difficult to escape from. It usually starts with you pushing the main story forward, which then activates special events and quests to choose from, to which then you take a quest and go out into the world and kill a bunch of stuff. And after that, you go back to your hub, you receive rewards, sell your loot, upgrade yourself and your summonable Pokemon-esque companions with everything you don't sell. After that, you can check if you have collected enough blue blood, which can be used as currency to either buy rare items or leveling up Arnis, which then grants you access to many more abilities and perks in the long run. And then after doing that, you just rinse and repeat. You take quest, do quest, get paid, sell loot, upgrade, level up, and then you do it all over again. Though it is pretty fun most of the time, it doesn't come without its flaws. Though there are many quests available for you to take, most of them will lack variety, with missions consisting of either going out to kill something or visiting an area that you most likely already visited. It also doesn't help that the rewards don't feel worth it after a while, especially after reaching a point into the game where I could pretty much just sneeze and gain double the amount of money or blood I would get than by just doing the quest. Add that with the absence of urgency or punishment from not taking any of the quests, that brings into question why there wasn't much done to make them more varied or interesting. Speaking of which, the daytime activities are also pretty disappointing, I hate to admit, with all of them just consisting of choosing something out of a menu and being met with a small strand of text of Arnis talking about what she did during the day without any of the players' involvement or participation, which feels like a missed opportunity for further character development and fun dialogue. There is already a ton of stuff to do in the game as it is, so maybe that would have been a little much, but I still expected something a little bit more meaty than just a couple sentences and a small stat boost. Even with that said, I feel those are relatively minor issues that don't make or break the experience for me, considering how the main story and the likable characters will most likely push you forward if the side quests don't. Overall, I thought the first hour or so was kind of a slow start, but after jumping that hurdle, I enjoyed this game a significant amount. Just as much as how Arnis and Lilise are in love with each other, I'm falling in love with this game the more I play it. While the story is nothing to write home about, the quests leave something to be desired, and the soundtrack never really stuck out to me. The characters involved in it, along with the addicting gameplay, charming characters, solid writing, and voice acting, made me want to continue playing until the very end. Though a drastic change from Koei Tecmo, who are more well known for making stuff like Dynasty Warriors or Samurai Warriors, I'm happy to say that Knights of Azure hits all the right marks for me, creating an interesting and charming world that I would be more than happy to explore further in some sort of sequel or spin-off. If you're willing to be a little patient, I recommend it. Thank you very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give this video a like, and of course you can go to our website, thebuttonsmasher.com. We do news, we do reviews, and if you're a fan of podcasts, then be sure to visit that site because we have a lot of them. All of that content is created by really fun people that love what they do, so we highly appreciate your support.